Hey ladies and germs, my name's Daniel, and it is time to rank all 5 live-action Jokers. Well, with the release of the new movie Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix, I figured it's time to indulge in everyone's thirstiest sin on the internet, a ranking video. More specifically, a ranking of all 5 live-action Jokers. Because if I were to do all of them, we all know who would win. So since we know Mark Hamill is the greatest Joker that ever has been, will been, or will ever be, we are here trying to decide the runner-up. So, we're gonna start from worst to best, and it seems like no question that the worst Joker is... The easiest thing to say is that Jared Leto is trying too hard. But I'm also not sure at what he's trying to do. A lot of this reasoning for ranking somehow ends up always on the writing board, you know, on the script and the character. And I think Joker is supposed to be the super villainous version of that douchebag boyfriend you had in high school who thought he was way cooler than he actually is, but somehow you still wanted to devote your life to him. Even when you're looking at the Suicide Squad extended scenes, the most I get out of that is that Margot Robbie is the perfect Harley Quinn, and she's giving her all into that character. Whereas Jared Leto's Joker, I think, is just trying to make spooky faces, and I'm not really sure what else. If you would have taken out all the costume, all the makeup, and the grill, and the damage tattoo, I really don't know what you get other than Jared Leto. And if I wanted to watch Jared Leto be a douchebag, I would just follow him in his everyday life. From Batman the movie, I believe 1966 or 1968, I will correct myself. And the great thing about Romero is this is where you really, one, get the archetype of who a Joker in live action is. He's the clown, he's the jester, he's goofy, but there's that perfect element that every single Joker needs, which is a hint of chaos. And really, the thing that makes Cesar Romero stand out is that he's just a jerk. It's fun to be evil, it's fun to grab people with a terrible joy buzzer and shock them. Just indulging in all the weirdest, hammiest, goofiest, worst thoughts you've ever had. That's the archetype of what the Joker should be. And Cesar Romero, even with that glorious mustache, I mean, of course the Joker wouldn't shave his mustache. He thinks it looks good. It suits him. The only reason he's not up higher is because there's just not much there. I think the Joker needs a little bit of everything to work. You know, you need the chaos, you need the menace, you need the intelligence, you need the theatricality, and Cesar Romero only has that chaotic element and mostly the theatrics of it all. So he's my guy, but he's not
my number one guy.
I will say, a lot of what Joaquin Phoenix is doing fits this character to a T, but the issue I've got with the character is that it's just not all-encompassing. It seems very focused on the mental illness aspect of the Joker, which, to be perfectly frank, I don't think that's the Joker. I think the Joker is in a world where all those worries about mental illness have passed him by. So if we're really going to judge him as to when he became the Joker, we're really only judging maybe the last third of the movie, and he's doing some fantastic stuff. I love just his saunter into a room. I love the props that he's using. I love the voice affectations he has, and it's a really fun performance to see when he's going all out ballistic and he's, you know, trying to threaten people and he spooks them, but he also really harms them. He has the ferocity to get the job done, but he also has the theatricality to have a little bit of fun with it. If we had a little bit more of Joker as Joker, I think I might be on the upward climb here, but nah, for right now, he's sitting firmly in the middle. So, you know the two that are left. I mean, you know. And as soon as I mention the runner-up, you know who's gonna be the winner. So I'm gonna do an honorable mention now. An honorable mention to the one, the only...
Let's put a smile on this face.
I mean, it's Tommy Wiseau, but Tommy Wiseau's a little scary. So seeing him take on the Joker was actually kind of fitting. Surprisingly good job. I wouldn't mind actually seeing a little bit more budget, you know, an actual fan film made from that scene in The Dark Knight. But speaking of The Dark Knight, shock of all shocks, Heath Ledger is the runner-up in this contest. And Heath Ledger has a lot of what I'm looking for in the Joker, and really a lot of what works about him. He's incredibly intelligent, he's ferocious, and he's vile. He's really menacing. That first time you see him torturing a guy, that's a pin. You could hear a pin drop in that theater. But the thing that kind of gets me about the Joker is, again, in character, it's whenever he starts talking about the Lord of the Flies mentality of the world and how we're all savages and willing to eat each other and life breeds on chaos, that I thought, well, now you're not really the Joker. You're just a guy using the Joker as a costume. You know, the one thing that Jared Leto did say, which is true, but you probably shouldn't say it if you're the Joker, is... You know, I'm not a guy, I'm an idea, I'm a state of mind. And I thought, you know, that bit of meta commentary for Leto doesn't work, but I mean, he's right. Joker is best when he's removed from every kind of motive and tie and idea on the face of the earth and just really willing to be unleashed as a force. And so Joker, from this anarchist point of view, it totally fits into what Christopher Nolan is doing with that character, but as portraying the Joker the way that I believe he ultimately should be, just a force of chaos, I guess that leaves the final, the winner, the greatest Joker runner-up that has ever existed in the live-action theatrical form, would be Jack of all trades. He's got everything that I'm looking for, and yet there's something about him where I just love the fact that the Joker amuses himself. I love that the Joker tells jokes and repeats it to himself because he thinks he's that funny. More than any of the other live-action performers before him, he so effortlessly slides into being threatening, funny, kooky, emotional at some point, and who else are you gonna get but one of the greatest actors to walk on the face of this planet? When you're in a room alone with Jack Nicholson and you really don't know if he's amused by you, you are wondering, like, why is he just randomly licking his lips? And not like as an affectation for the moment, he'll just sit there like, he'll like play with his face. Who does that? But that's gonna be it for my ranking. If you watched all the way through, thank you very much for getting to this point. I greatly appreciate you. And if you want to keep hanging out, talking about movies with me, give me your Joker lists in the comments below. Do that, and also subscribe to the channel. But right now, it is time for you to choose your own adventure between one of these two videos. On the left is my review of the new Joker, which, guess what, I wasn't a really big fan of. And on the right, you've got my induction into the Halloween Hall of Fame, Evil Dead 2. So, you've got a decision to make, choose your own adventure, and I'll see you next time.